So welcome back to this little mini series of me trying to find my next vehicle, and we're going to do this much like we did with the last vehicle where I talked about the Kia Telluride, because that vehicle confused me a lot because I really liked it and a lot of me really wanted to get that vehicle, but I just couldn't pull the trigger because the performance wasn't there. And at the end of the day, I want a vehicle that I can modify relatively easily, have some fun with, make my own, and is a pretty high performance vehicle, but I still like the form factor and the utility of an SUV. And today in episode 2, you know that I looked at the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio from the title, but it's made me even more confused because that vehicle should not be that much fun. So the Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio, besides being a mouthful to say, is the fastest SUV, around the Nürburgring, performing a time under 8 minutes, which is absurd. It's any car that can do the ring in under 8 minutes is much more than just raw power. It is an insanely good handling vehicle because the ring is such a challenging course. You could throw a Trackhawk on there, but there's no way it's getting anywhere close to 8 minutes because it doesn't have the handling. It has way more raw power than Stelvio with 707 horsepower, but it's the handling, it's the way it drives that makes the Quadrifoglio so special. And I think special is an understatement. This vehicle should not drive like this. No vehicle, no SUV should drive like this. It was insane, and it was so much fun, and it just, wow, I was so impressed. So I'm not going to go through all the details about the Stelvio Quadrifoglio and what it is, because you can do your own research, or you can go ahead and check out our website where I have more information on the Quadrifoglio and my experience with it. They'll be more detailed for those of you who are actually interested in it. But there's a couple things that make it really special that I didn't fully understand going into it. The opportunity for myself as well as Mike, who you've seen on the channel, to drive it, we kind of stumbled upon it, and it wasn't necessarily our intent of the day, but wow, what an experience. So point number 1 that I absolutely love about the Stelvio Quadrifoglio is the sound. It is incredible. The engine is a Ferrari designed V6 twin turbo. It is essentially the engine from the new California T, the twin turbo V8 with 2 cylinders lopped off, if you will. Oversimplification, yes, but that's essentially what it was derived from. It makes 505 horsepower, and it is the most spectacular sounding V6 I've ever heard. This has officially passed the F-Type V6 in my own personal category of the best sounding V6s. It is absolutely at the top. Again, an SUV should not sound like this. It should not backfire and crackle and just have this personality. I think that's the best way to put it. It's not raw, it's not aggressive, it's not sporty, it's sassy, it's a personality. It's a car with its own personality. It gets sad when you're not driving it aggressive, when you put it in natural mode and tone down the exhaust. It wants to be driven, and I don't know how to explain it without sounding like a fool, but if you have the opportunity to drive one, you'll understand what I'm saying. It truly has a personality, and it wants to be loud and obnoxious and have fun. It's just such a neat experience in an SUV. But on the flip side of this, if you buy an SUV and I buy a Quadrifoglio, I need it to be a daily driver. I need it to be a vehicle I can drive year round, and that's a vehicle that I can drive, in the winter. I can drive it to work every day. I can drive it in the city and I can have fun with it. And that's been the challenge for me, is finding a vehicle that does it all. But this Quadrifoglio absolutely can do it all. So Alfa Romeos come with the DNA drive selector, which has the modes dynamic, which is their sport mode, natural, and advanced efficiency, which is kind of like an eco mode. In the Quadrifoglios, you also get a race mode. But what's amazing and really nice about this is that each of those modes actually truly changes the character of the vehicle. So when you flip it down to natural mode, the exhaust gets quieter because it has a Valvetronic exhaust, so it gets nice and quiet and smooth. The throttle's less touchy, the brakes are less touchy, and the adaptive suspension softens up, it soaks up bumps, and actually drives pretty smooth. It's not the smoothest SUV on the market by any means, but it is absolutely something you can live with, take on road trips, no problem. Flip into dynamic mode, it gets a little bit sportier, tightens up the suspension a little bit. The exhaust opens up when you get above, I think it's like 3,500, maybe 4,000 RPM. So it's like quiet and normal driving, but if you hammer it down, it'll get loud. Or if you want to have the most fun, flip to race mode. Automatically turns off traction control, ESC, opens up the exhaust and makes it just raw and exciting. Alright, reason number 2 that I love this vehicle is the handling. And this is where it really surprised me. I already knew that it sounded good. It actually surprised me how good it did sound in person, but the handling was amazing. And this is what really made me fall in love with the vehicle, is that you can throw this thing around bends at ridiculous speeds and it just holds. It's extremely rear-wheel drive base and only sends power to the front when it needs to, and it will let you have fun with it, let you slide around a bit in race mode, and it was incredible. It truly handles like a car, a sports car, a proper sports car that has a sound to go with it and the handling. But you still have the ground clearance, you still have a little bit extra size over a sedan. It's by no means a big SUV, but it's just the SUV form factor and look that I really like. It has some of the extra utility and space that I really like, and it has ground clearance and all-wheel drive, which is great for winter and driving it year-round here in Minnesota. And it handles like a true sports car. For those 2 reasons alone, I absolutely fell in love with the Quadrifoglio, and what really kicks me is that it is just, it's a bit of a stretch and a little bit on my price range right now. And it really hurts to say that. I really wish there was a way I could make it work, but right now I can't. I'm hoping that maybe in the very near future, maybe in 6 months, maybe somehow I can find a way to make it work. But right now it can't work. But boy, is that vehicle ever a goal that I'm going to work towards, because that just, it blows my mind. So I really look forward to someday owning one, because it really just, it changed the way I look at SUVs, and it is something that I want in my garage that I can drive every day. And someday that will happen, and I hope it happens soon, but it's not today. But I really wanted to make this video because this is just one of those really rare, unique vehicles that can change the way you look at things, and it has the potential to ruin every vehicle you drive after it, and it's going to make my search for a next vehicle so much harder, because nothing will live up to that. So if you're looking for one of those experiences of essentially life-changing, mind-blowing drives, go to your nearest Alfa Romeo dealership and try to drive a Stelvio Quadrifoglio. It's amazing. You will not regret it. So thank you for watching this. I hope that my excitement here can maybe excite you and you can understand where I'm coming from. As a car enthusiast, it's incredible. Go check it out. Please go check it out. It will blow your mind. But thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for sticking with me for another video of me trying to figure out my next vehicle. Again, any thoughts, comments, suggestions, drop them down below. I do read all your comments and appreciate it. With that being said, thank you, guys. I just really need to share that experience with you, and I will see you in the next video.